Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Norwegian ebook before it's gone. When learning a new language, everyone should have an ultimate goal to work towards. Whether you want to be able to connect with a relative, easily order food while traveling, or go somewhere new, having an end goal for your learning can be very motivating. A popular but challenging goal is being able to speak like a native speaker. It's difficult to measure exactly when you reach this goal, and it's not something you can pick up using textbooks alone. So how do you work on making your speech more natural? That's what we're going to look at today. Here are 3 tips to help you practice talking like a native speaker. Number 1, focus on vocabulary. If your goal is to speak like a native, you might be really focused on speaking quickly or using as many complex grammar patterns as possible. But in our native languages, we're not always trying to speak as fast as possible, and we use complex grammar patterns when necessary, not to show off. Vocabulary, however, is extremely important to expressing ourselves naturally. Your choice of words can reveal a lot about you and your understanding of the language. Most learners have had the experience of using a phrasebook or a dictionary to find a word they want to use, trying the word in conversation, and getting a look of confusion from the native speaker. In some cases, although your word choice may be grammatically correct, the word may be inappropriate for the situation or totally unnatural. This is especially important in business and other formal situations, where the right level of formality and professionalism is key. Being able to understand nuances in vocabulary words can also help you understand relationships between people just by listening to the conversation. Try to listen to many different types of conversations. Listen to how people talk to their friends, their superiors, and in customer service situations. This will give you a better idea of how to talk to others naturally. In some languages, you can omit words from sentences or use more direct communication styles. It's important to be aware of these things so you can apply them yourself. Colloquialisms and slang are also commonly used in most languages. As this sort of vocabulary is always evolving, it can be difficult to keep up with the latest words. Talk with native speakers and consume media in your target language to make sure you pick up these kinds of expressions. Media is a great resource for your learning. Ultimately, knowing the appropriate vocabulary to use for each situation will really help you sound more knowledgeable. Number 2, perfect your accent. With every language, there are unique pronunciation and intonation challenges. Some languages are tonal languages, and a change in pitch can completely change the meaning of a word. Then there's the fact that most countries have multiple dialects, and so people from one area of the country may sound different from those in another. So what is the best way to listen to a wide range of accents and different pronunciations? Video and audio resources are a great way to do this. YouTube is a perfect place to start because people from all kinds of different backgrounds upload videos to the platform. You can watch educational videos, daily life vlogs, cooking shows, a travel series, whatever interests you. Pay attention to the different ways people speak. Everyone is unique. And then practice speaking like them. This kind of practice can help you sound more natural. One note, please be aware of the type of resources you're using. For example, if you find a video where a speaker uses a rare dialect, it might not be a good idea to use that for your pronunciation practice, unless you have a special reason for studying a specific accent. As a general rule, it's best to try to search for practice resources that use a standard form of the language you're studying. Number 3, copy what you hear. Do you remember how you learned to speak as a child? We rarely learned new words just listening to them, or reading after we learned how. When we were little kids, we imitated the sounds we heard by repeating the sounds out loud. While you're talking to a friend, watching videos, or listening to audio in your target language, you can do this to try and replicate the way they speak. Doing this will help you work on mastering the flow of the language, your accent, intonation, and pronunciation. Of course, you might also pick up some new vocabulary this way. Make sure to repeat new words often. It's a great way to make sure you remember them. Try doing this using a number of different mediums and sources. That way, you'll be exposed to the diversity that the language offers and master the fundamentals of pronunciation. For example, You can watch and imitate several different YouTube videos and audio CDs, but try a few different sources, like different creators or different audio types, to make sure you experience a wide range of communication in your target language. If you're using our language learning program, you can even get your own teacher with Premium Plus. Your teacher can answer questions, give assignments, and even listen to your recordings and give you advice on pronunciation. Completing these kinds of lessons with a native teacher can really boost your confidence in your speaking skills. Becoming able to speak like a native is a popular goal for many people learning a new language. It feels great to be able to communicate smoothly, especially when the people you're talking to expect basic level sentences or broken communication. Try using the tips we've shared in this video to work on improving your speaking skills. Of course, it'll take time and persistence, but the reward will be more natural communication. And for even more tips on speaking, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary, followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Unnskyld, jeg har ventet nå I 45 minutter.
Jeg må beklage. Jeg skal finne ut hva som tar så lang tid.
Unnskyld, jeg har fått feil bestilling.
Hva var det du bestilte?
Jeg bestilte lasagne med pommes frites, ikke potetmos.
Beklager, jeg skal rette opp I det med en gang.
Lasagnen uansett for kald.
Vi lager en ny til deg.
Nå den for varm.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Unnskyld,
Excuse me,
å vente,
to wait,
å få,
to get, to have,
feil,
wrong,
bestilling,
order,
å beklage,
to apologize,
uansett,
anyway,
kald,
cold,
varm.
hot.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Unnskyld, jeg har ventet nå I 45 minutter.
Jeg må beklage. Jeg skal finne ut hva som tar så lang tid.
Unnskyld, jeg har fått feil bestilling.
Hva var det du bestilte?
Jeg bestilte lasagne med pommes frites, ikke potetmos.
Beklager, jeg skal rette opp I det med en gang.
Lasagnen uansett for kald.
Vi lager en ny til deg.
Nå den for varm.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Hi everybody, Annette here. Welcome back to Top Norwegian Words. Today we're gonna look at 10 phrases to amaze a native speaker. Let's get started. Takk, men norsk faktisk ikke mitt morsmål. Thank you, but Norwegian is actually not my native tongue. Takk, men norsk faktisk ikke mitt morsmål. Thank you, but Norwegian is actually not my native tongue. In recent years, there's actually a lot of people who have different ethnical backgrounds, but who has been adopted. So even though people don't look Norwegian, they might actually be at a native level talking about the language. So never judge a book by its cover. Det tok meg bare 1 år for å bli flytende. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Det tok meg bare 1 år å bli flytende. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Especially if you know English or German or any other Western European language, then you're gonna find Norwegian quite easy to learn. Jeg vil snakke norsk som en nordmann innen 3 år. I want to speak Norwegian like a native in 3 years. Jeg vil snakke norsk som en nordmann innen 3 år. I want to speak Norwegian like a native in 3 years. You can do it. You can practice your Norwegian with us here at norwegianclass101.com. Jeg har lært norsk i 10 år. I've been learning Norwegian for 10 years. Jeg har lært norsk i 10 år. I've been learning Norwegian for 10 years. Well, yeah, if you study Norwegian for 10 years, I can guarantee you're gonna be very good. Jeg kan se norske filmer uten undertekster. I can watch Norwegian movies without subtitles. Jeg kan se norske filmer uten undertekster. I can watch Norwegian movies without subtitles. As you know, Norway is a very small country, so we don't produce that many movies. But there are some good ones out there, like Kon-Tiki, for instance, was nominated for Oscar a couple of years ago. And recent days, you have the Norwegian drama Skam, which is very popular, which I really recommend you guys to check out. Jeg kan huske rundt 50 nye norske ord om dagen. I can memorize around 50 new Norwegian words a day. Jeg kan huske rundt 50 nye norske ord om dagen. I can memorize around 50 new Norwegian words a day. Well, 50 words is quite impressive. If you can memorize 50 words a day, you're gonna be at native level in no time. Go for it! Bortsett fra å kunne norsk, kan jeg også snakke noen andre språk. Apart from knowing Norwegian, I can speak a few other languages as well. Bortsett fra å kunne norsk, kan jeg også snakke noen andre språk. Apart from knowing Norwegian, I can speak a few other languages as well. Did you know that Norwegian and Swedish and Danish are really, really similar? So just by learning Norwegian, you can actually learn 3 languages at once. That's pretty cool, right? Jeg forsto alt du sa. I completely understood everything you said. Jeg forsto alt du sa. I completely understood everything you said. Great! That means your Norwegian is improving, right? Keep it up. Jeg leser ofte norsk skjønnlitteratur. I often read Norwegian fiction. Jeg leser ofte norsk skjønnlitteratur. I often read Norwegian fiction. In the Scandinavian countries, we have a genre called krim, which is about kind of detective mystery novels that are really, really popular. You can check out, for instance, Varg Veum. He's a detective from my hometown. You can also check out Jon Nesbø, who's a very famous Norwegian writer, and his book, The Snowman, Snømannen, is gonna be made into a movie actually, so yeah, you should definitely check that one out. Jeg studerer norsk på universitetet. I study Norwegian at the university. Jeg studerer norsk på universitetet. I study Norwegian at the university. In Norway, we don't really judge people based on which university they study at. We judged based on which major people choose. So you can actually get into, for instance, Universitetet I Oslo, the university in Oslo, without having good grades if you choose an unpopular major. Okay, everybody, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any phrases that you can impress me with, then please leave them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer them. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and go to norwegianclass101.com for more resources. Thank you, ha det bra, vi ses senere. Hi everybody, this is Annette from norwegianclass101.com. Today we're looking at 10 must-know math words. So let's get started. Matte, math. Matte mitt yndlingsfag. Matte mitt yndlingsfag. Math is my favorite subject, which is not really true, but Nummer. Number. Hvilket nummer har du på lappen? Hvilket nummer har du på lappen? What number do you have on your note? Halv. Half. Halve brødet ligger på bordet. Halve brødet ligger på bordet. Half the bread is on the table. Prosent. Percent. Denne på 50% avslag. Denne på 50% avslag. This is 50% off. Fjerdedel. Fourth. Dette en fjerdedel av kaken. Dette en fjerdedel av kaken. This is a fourth of a cake. And that is a piece of cake. Odde. Odd. 3 et oddetall. 3 et oddetall. 3 is an odd number. Pluss. Plus. Pluss og minus det letteste i matte. Pluss og minus det letteste i matte. Plus and minus are the easiest in math. Minus. Minus. 5 minus 2 3. 5 minus 2 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. Ganger. Times. 2 ganger 4 8. 2 ganger 4 8. 2 times 4 is 8. Dele. To divide. Kan du dele dette eplet i 2? Kan du dele dette eplet i 2? Can you divide this apple in half? Okay guys, that's it for today. We have looked at 10 must-know math words. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below and we can do some math together. Anyway, see you next week. Vi ses neste gang. Ha det bra.
Si etter meg. Elegant.
Elegant.
Si etter meg. Glad.
Glad. Unnskyld, hvor toalettet?
Der borte.
Takk skal du ha.
Bare hyggelig.
Så, Mark, hva driver du med? Jeg jobber for Mercedes i New York. Ja, jeg jobber også for Mercedes. Har du en hobby? Å ja, jeg liker å fiske. Hva med deg? Jeg liker å se på fotball. Mark, kom og se. Hva er det? Det er røkt laks. Hvordan sier jeg how much are these på norsk? Hvor mye koster disse? Takk, Espen. Unnskyld, hvor mye koster denne?
Hello everybody, this is Annette from NorwegianClass101.com. Today we're looking at top 10 most common tourist vocabulary. So let's get started. Billett. Billett. Ticket. Billett. Ticket. Hvordan kan jeg kjøpe en billett til Oslo sentralstasjon? Hvordan kan jeg kjøpe en billett til Oslo sentralstasjon? How do I buy a ticket to Oslo Central Station? Turist. Turist. Tourist. Turist. Tourist. Jeg turist i Norge. Jeg turist i Norge. I'm a tourist in Norway. Reiserute. Reiserute. Itinerary. Reiserute. Itinerary. Kan du sende meg reiseruten din for i morgen? Kan du sende meg reiseruten din for i morgen? Can you send me your itinerary for tomorrow? Turbus. Turbus. Tourbus. Turbus. Tourbus. Turbussen går klokka 10. Turbussen går klokken 10. The tour bus leaves at 10 a.m. Kart. Kart. Map. Kart. Map. Kan du kjøpe et kart til meg òg? Kan du kjøpe et kart til meg òg? Can you buy a map for me too? Museum. 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 Jeg har veldig lyst til å dra til dette museet. Jeg har veldig lyst til å dra til dette museet. I really want to go to this museum. Kirke. Kirke. Church. Kirke. Church. Stavkirker kjente i Norge. Stavkirker kjente i Norge. Stave churches are very famous in Norway. Omvisning. Omvisning. Tour. Omvisning. Tour. Jeg ønsker å få en omvisning av festningen. Jeg ønsker å få en omvisning av festningen. I want a tour of the fortress. Palace. 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 Palasset 200 år gammelt. Palasset 200 år gammelt. The palace is 200 years old. Guide. 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 Hva synes du om denne guiden? Hva synes du om denne guiden? What do you think about this guide? Okay, everybody, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. We've been going through top 10 most common tourist vocabulary. That's all for now, but if you have any questions or comments, please don't forget to leave them in the comment section below. Also, like and subscribe and go to norwegianclass101.com for more fun and interesting material. Vi ses neste uke. Goodbye, see you again.
Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary, followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Så du håndballkampen I går, Linda? Vi vant!
Ja, for en spennende kamp. Så du det første målet?
Nei, jeg gikk glipp av de første 10 minuttene. Hvem skåret?
Gerhardsen skårte de første 3 måla.
Gerhardsen? Var ikke hun skadet?
Nei, du tenker på Severinsen. Hun har spilt ganske dårlig det siste uansett.
Hvem så du på kampen med?
Hvem? Ingen. Det var bare meg og Twitter.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Håndball.
Handball.
Å vinne.
To win.
Kamp.
Game. Match.
Spennende.
Interesting. Exciting.
Mål.
Goal.
Å skåre.
To score.
Å være skadet.
To be injured.
Å spille.
To play.
Ganske.
Pretty.
Ingen.
No one.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Så du håndballkampen I går, Linda? Vi vant!
Ja, for en spennende kamp. Så du det første målet?
Nei, jeg gikk glipp av de første 10 minuttene. Hvem skåret?
Gerhardsen skårte de første 3 måla.
Gerhardsen? Var ikke hun skadet?
Nei, du tenker på Severinsen. Hun har spilt ganske dårlig det siste uansett.
Hvem så du på kampen med?
Hvem? Ingen. Det var bare meg og Twitter.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
You are at a train station where you're attempting to buy an express ticket from a ticket machine. Which option should you choose to buy an express ticket? Which option should you choose to buy an express ticket? The option on the bottom left is for an express train.
Hurtigtog.
You are at a train station where you've just bought an express ticket. Which train car, row, and seat number are you in? Which train car, row, and seat number are you in? The ticket says that you're in train car number 1 in the 8th row in seat C.
Vogn 1, rad 8, sete C.
You are at a train station where you're reading the train schedule for an express ticket that you've just bought. On which days are there no express trains running? On which days are there no express trains running? There are no express trains running on public holidays and the third Sunday of every month.
Helligdager, tredje søndag hver måned.
You are on a platform at a train station where you're waiting for your train. Suddenly, a message appears on the display. What does the message on the display mean? What does the message on the display mean? The display reads, "Passing train."
Passerende tog.
You are at a train station where you're looking for the best exit to catch a taxi. Which exit should you take to get to the taxi rank? Which exit should you take to get to the taxi rank? You should take the east exit in order to get to the taxi rank.
Utgang mot øst.
Want to speak real Norwegian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at norwegianclass101.com.
Kvinne spør en ekspeditør noe på en bokhandel. Hvilken bok har kvinnen lyst til å se? Unnskyld, jeg vil gjerne se på ei bok på denne hylla.
Hvilken bok vil du ha?
Den om biler.
Et øyeblikk. Denne?
Ja, det er den.
Vær så god.
Hvilken bok har kvinna lyst til å se? Ei kvinne spør en ekspeditør noe på en bokhandel. Hvilken bok har kvinna lyst til å se? Unnskyld, jeg vil gjerne se på ei bok på denne hylla.
Hvilken bok vil du ha?
Den om biler.
Et øyeblikk. Denne?
Ja, det er den.
Vær så god.
En mann og ei kvinne ser på en meny på en restaurant. Hva skal mannen bestille?
Hva skal du bestille?
Pizzaen ser deilig ut. Jeg tror jeg tar den.
Jeg hadde pizza i går, så…
Ok da. Hva med hamburgeren?
Høres bra ut. Jeg tar den.
Hva skal mannen bestille? En mann og ei kvinne ser på en meny på en restaurant. Hva skal mannen bestille?
Hva skal du bestille?
Pizzaen ser deilig ut. Jeg tror jeg tar den.
Jeg hadde pizza i går, så…
Ok da. Hva med hamburgeren?
Høres bra ut. Jeg tar den.
En mann ringer legekontoret. Når må han være på legekontoret? Hei, hvordan kan jeg hjelpe deg?
Når stenger dere i dag?
Vi stenger 6, men vennligst kom før 5:30.
Ok, takk skal du ha.
Når må han være på legekontoret? En mann ringer legekontoret. Når må han være på legekontoret? Hei, hvordan kan jeg hjelpe deg?
Når stenger dere i dag?
Vi stenger 6, men vennligst kom før 5:30.
Ok, takk skal du ha.
En gutt leser fra dagboka si. Hva var den første tingen gutten gjorde i dag?
Været var bra i dag. Jeg svømte i svømmehallen om ettermiddagen, og jeg gikk på kino om kvelden. Jeg studerte hele morgenen også. I dag var ikke så verst.
Hva var den første tingen gutten gjorde i dag? En gutt leser fra dagboka si. Hva var den første tingen gutten gjorde i dag?
Været var bra i dag. Jeg svømte i svømmehallen om ettermiddagen, og jeg gikk på kino om kvelden. Jeg studerte hele morgenen også. I dag var ikke så verst.
Ei kvinne og en mann ser på et bilde. Hvilket bilde ser de på? Dette er et bilde av fotballaget sønnen din er på, ikke sant? Hvem er sønnen din?
Han her.
Å, han er den høyeste.
Jepp, han er til og med høyere enn meg.
Hvilket bilde ser de på? Ei kvinne og en mann ser på et bilde. Hvilket bilde ser de på? Dette er et bilde av fotballaget sønnen din er på, ikke sant? Hvem er sønnen din?
Han her.
Å, han er den høyeste.
Jepp, han er til og med høyere enn meg.
Jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig å møte dere. Hi, I'm Nora. Nice to meet you. In this series, we're going to learn basic Norwegian expressions. It's super easy and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Norwegian. You only need to know 2 sentences. Let's see how Norwegian people introduce themselves. Hei, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig å møte deg. Hi, I'm Nora. Nice to meet you. Hei, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig å møte deg. Start by saying, Hei, jeg heter. Then say your name. Hei, jeg heter Nora. Finally, say, hyggelig å møte deg. Hei, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig å møte deg. And now, let's see the same sentence in a different format. Hallo, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig. Hello, my name is Nora. Nice to meet you. Hallo, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig. So, what has changed from the previous introduction? Let's take a close look at these together. Hei has been substituted with an alternative greeting, hallo, Norwegian for hello. In a formal setting, you would say your full name, but it is better to just use your first name when being introduced to new friends. Hyggelig å møte deg has been shortened to just hyggelig. When meeting someone in a formal context, for instance at work, hyggelig å møte deg would be the most appropriate greeting. When being introduced to new friends, hyggelig will do. One more time. One way to introduce yourself in Norwegian is Hei, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig å møte deg. An alternative way to introduce yourself is Hallo, jeg heter Nora. Hyggelig. Now it's time for Nora's insights. When you introduce yourself, it's a good habit to shake hands in Norway. While hyggelig å møte deg is slightly more formal than just hyggelig, you don't need to worry too much about which one you use. If you use one of these sentences with Norwegian people, they're definitely going to be impressed. In the last lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Norwegian. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. Dere klare? Are you ready? La oss begynne. So let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the easiest. It is just one word. Takk. Takk. Takk means thank you. When saying thank you very much, you just need to add tusen at the beginning. Tusen takk. Tusen takk. Tusen means 1,000. So, tusen takk is like saying 1,000 thanks. During the last lesson, we didn't really mention anything about formality in speech in Norwegian. However, there are some subtle differences in how you will be perceived by others. Takk is a casual way to thank someone. Tusen takk expresses more gratitude and is thus more formal. A longer and more formal phrase, which expresses a lot of gratitude, would be Tusen takk, så hyggelig av deg. Here we have just added så hyggelig av deg, which means how nice of you. Tusen takk, så hyggelig av deg. But how do you answer these expressions of gratitude? It's easy. There are basically two different ways to do it. The first is vel bekomme. Vel bekomme. Vel bekomme literally means you are welcome. The other way to say you are welcome is the expression bare hyggelig. Bare hyggelig. Literally, this phrase means it's my pleasure or with pleasure, but it is the most common and polite way to respond to someone thanking you. So when someone is saying takk to you, you can simply reply with vel bekomme or bare hyggelig. Now it's time for Nora's insights. If you're not sure about whether to use takk or tusen takk, keeping it simple is always your safest bet. You don't have to worry about formal or informal situations. Takk can be used with just about anyone, anywhere, and at any time. In the last lesson, we learned how to be grateful to people by saying takk. In this lesson, we learned some of the most common greetings used in Norway. Er dere klare? Are you ready? La oss begynne. So let's start. The most used informal greeting is hei. Hei. Hei means hi. We use it when we meet people. We can use this greeting with anyone. But it isn't the only way to greet someone. We also have hallo. Hallo, which means hello. And more time-specific greetings like god dag. God dag. Literally, god dag means good day. As a rule of thumb, we can use god dag only during the daytime, from morning until evening. During the evening, we say god kveld. God kveld. Kveld is Norwegian for evening, so god kveld means good evening. Finally, in the mornings we say god morgen. God morgen, which means good morning. God dag, god kveld, and god morgen are used when we meet someone, but when we leave, we don't say them again. When parting ways for a long time, we usually say ha det bra. Ha det bra. Ha det bra means be well, but translates best as goodbye. Finally, in Norwegian, we have an expression meaning see you soon. Ses. Ses. Now you can greet people in many different ways in Norwegian. Let's review them all again. When meeting friends or someone we don't know, hei or hallo. When leaving, we say ha det bra. When leaving but want to imply see you soon, we say ses. It's easy, isn't it? Now it's time for Nora's insights. In formal situations, Norwegian people commonly greet each other by shaking hands. However, if we meet someone we are very friendly with, it's common to give hugs. Don't be afraid to try it out with your Norwegian friends. In the last lesson, we learned the most common forms of greetings in Norwegian. Do you remember them? In this lesson, we're going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you're asking it in Norwegian, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're saying, even if their answer is no. Here's the most common way to say it. Snakker du engelsk? Snakker du engelsk? Norwegian is a pretty straightforward language. We conjugate verbs based on time, which means we have past, present, and infinitive. The question, snakker du engelsk, translates as are you speaking English? The verb snakker, to speak, is in the present tense. The second word in the sentence, du, simply means you. And you probably recognize engelsk to be English. Snakker du engelsk? To learn how to properly conjugate verbs like snakker, please check out our Absolute Beginner series on NorwegianClass101.com. You can find very detailed grammar lessons and resources there. Like English, there are many ways to ask this question. Let's look at another one, also pretty similar to English. Kan du snakke engelsk? It's literally the equivalent of can you speak English? Kan du snakke engelsk? Adding unnskyld, excuse me, to the sentence would make it unnskyld, kan du snakke engelsk? Unnskyld, kan du snakke engelsk? The responses you will receive could be one of these three. Ja, yes, ja. Litt, a little, litt. Nei, jeg kan ikke snakke engelsk. No, I can't speak English. Nei, jeg kan ikke snakke engelsk. Since this last one is a negative statement, we need to say ikke before the verb snakke. Notice also that the verb snakke is slightly different than snakker. Remember, the verb changes depending on the time it is in. We are now talking about the infinitive, since it is coupled with kan, which means can. Now it's time for Nora's insights. For those of you who don't just speak English, you can obviously use this question with any language you need. Norwegian people study other European languages at school, so maybe you will get lucky. Just substitute engelsk with italiensk for Italian, fransk for French, spansk for Spanish, tysk for German. In the last lesson, we learned the phrase Unnskyld, kan du snakke engelsk? Excuse me, do you speak English? We mentioned the word unnskyld, which means excuse me in Norwegian. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to use unnskyld and other words when apologizing in Norwegian. We should use unnskyld in formal situations, such as when we are ordering something in bars or restaurants. For example, unnskyld, en kaffe takk. Excuse me, a coffee please. We can also use it when asking a question. Unnskyld, hvor er Frognerparken? Excuse me, where is the Vigeland Park? Sometimes we also hear people say beklager, which means the same thing when you want to apologize for a mistake. Beklager. Another common way to say excuse me is unnskyld. Unnskyld. Just like beklager, we can use unnskyld when apologizing for a mistake. You can also hear some Norwegians say sorry, which is a long word from English. It's often used as a quick apology amongst friends. All of these phrases can be used for either excuse me or I'm sorry. But if you really want to apologize for something, it might be better to use a longer phrase. That phrase is Unnskyld, jeg er virkelig lei for det. It means, excuse me, I am really sorry, and can be used in both formal and informal situations. Unnskyld, jeg er virkelig lei for det. First, we have the familiar unnskyld. Next, we insert the pronoun for I, jeg. Then er, which means am. This is followed by virkelig, which means really. Finally, we have the phrase lei for det, meaning sorry about it. Unnskyld, jeg er virkelig lei for det. Now it's time for Nora's insights. In Norway, if you accidentally bump into someone, you might not get any response. But to be polite, we either say unnskyld or beklager. It is also common to use the exclamation «Å» before apologizing. «Å, beklager».
When learning a new language, we sometimes have a hard time with things like procrastination, discouragement, or failure. But don't panic. With a good strategy, you'll be able to overcome these difficulties. Are you ready to discover the 4 habits of successful learners? Number 1, optimize your time. When learning a language, it's important to dedicate time to your studies regularly, even if sometimes it's difficult. You're busy with school, work, family, or friends, but you can spread out your learning throughout the day. Study whenever you have small gaps of time in your busy schedule. This can be when you're on the metro, on your lunch break, or while you're exercising. Our podcast learning format fits perfectly into your tight schedule. Number 2, consistency with your chosen method. There are a lot of options when it comes to courses and learning materials. Switching from one method to another can confuse you and disrupt your progress. Focusing on one learning method will make a difference. Our method has been created and optimized by real teachers, so you can stick to it with confidence. Number 3, use your language background. Many languages share some commonalities. You can find words that look or sound similar, or even share the same grammar structure. A little bit of language background will give you an edge while learning. Number 4, study continuously. People are excited when they start learning a new language. The enthusiasm usually lasts until the first roadblock. This can lead to discouragement and procrastination. But don't burn yourself out. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't try to learn it all at once. Break things down into more digestible chunks. Learning step by step might feel slow, but it's an efficient way to learn a language. With patience, motivation, and good resources, you'll master the language. Remember, you can't learn a language overnight, but with motivation and these daily lessons, you'll be on the road to fluency. Give it a try now. Sign up for your account. Just click the link in the description.
Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary, followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Jeg er her på Bondens marked, og jeg har med meg Åsmund. Åsmund, hva er det du selger?
Jeg selger jordbærsyltetøy, eplesaft og ferske blåbær.
De ser kjempedeilige ut.
Vi har bare de beste varene.
Jeg forstår at du har et stort salg nå.
Ja, det er opp til 50% avslag på alle varer ut dagen.
For en stor rabatt. Du selger sikkert alt du har med.
Ja, løp og kjøp.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Å selge.
To sell.
Fersk.
Fresh.
Vare.
Product. Material.
Salg.
Sale.
Prosent.
Percent.
Avslag.
Reduction.
Rabatt.
Discount.
Sikkert.
Sure.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Jeg er her på Bondens marked, og jeg har med meg Åsmund. Åsmund, hva er det du selger?
Jeg selger jordbærsyltetøy, eplesaft og ferske blåbær.
De ser kjempedeilige ut.
Vi har bare de beste varene.
Jeg forstår at du har et stort salg nå.
Ja, det er opp til 50% avslag på alle varer ut dagen.
For en stor rabatt. Du selger sikkert alt du har med.
Ja, løp og kjøp.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson. Are you struggling to understand conversations in your target language? This video will improve your listening skills using practice dialogues. How do you know if your language skills are improving? Our team of teachers have designed a free quiz to determine your actual learning level. So click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for you. In this lesson, you'll listen to a dialogue with the text. Second, you'll review the key vocabulary, followed by the English translations. And finally, you'll review the dialogue with the text again to master what you learned. First, listen to the dialogue with the text on the screen.
Rabatt eller ikke, 90 kroner er alt for dyrt. Jeg gir deg 50 kroner.
Og, skal du prute? Hva om jeg betaler momsen? Da blir det kun 80 kroner.
Det er ikke verdt så mye engang.
Ok, 72 kroner. Da får du også rabatten.
De har syltetøy i butikken til mindre. Jeg betaler maks 55 kroner.
65, og jeg gir deg en gratis pose.
60 kroner, og det er mitt siste tilbud.
Da har vi en avtale.
Now you'll hear the key vocabulary, followed by the English translation.
Å prute.
To haggle.
Å betale.
To pay.
Kun.
Only.
Verdt.
Worth.
Maks.
The most.
Gratis.
Free.
Pose.
Bag.
Avtale.
Deal.
Finally, let's review the dialogue again. See if you can understand more this time.
Rabatt eller ikke, 90 kroner er alt for dyrt. Jeg gir deg 50 kroner.
Og skal du prute? Hva om jeg betaler momsen? Da blir det kun 80 kroner.
Det er ikke verdt så mye engang.
Ok, 72 kroner. Da får du også rabatten.
De har syltetøy i butikken til mindre. Jeg betaler maks 55 kroner.
65, og jeg gir deg en gratis pose.
60 kroner, og det er mitt siste tilbud.
Da har vi en avtale.
This is the end of the lesson. In this lesson, you improved your listening and mastered key vocabulary for everyday life conversation. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your free assessment and unlock lessons that are right for your learning level. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Norwegian ebook before it's gone.